Yep, I just got input that there's another podcast coming to YouTube.
Oh lord, another one?
What's this guy's name? Tyler Williams.
My god. Hey, what is up you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler Williams channel if you're watching this on YouTube or a different platform depending on what I uploaded it to. Welcome to the very first episode of the first podcast in history to talk about everything and nothing. The Everything and Nothing podcast. I know, right? Just another podcast to add to your list of things to listen to on Sunday and Friday. Yeah, as I said, Sunday and Friday. So I've been thinking about doing a podcast on my channel for a long time, and I've been debating on them. Like, there's enough podcasts out there. What's going to differentiate mine from theirs? And it's like, well, I guess I have my personality and my voice, and just going to talk about a bunch of things that happen in the week that really interest me. Celebrity stuff, wrestling stuff, of course, movies, TV shows, video games, stuff that happens in my real life, all that jazz. It's going to be some interesting stuff, and I am super excited to talk about all this stuff. You guys could definitely listen to the Everything and Nothing podcast, depending on how this one goes. You can listen to it every single Friday. I'm going to try to shoot for every single Friday. I'm going to record one. And Sundays, every time there is a WWE pay-per-view or a major wrestling pay-per-view, I will try to shoot for that Sunday instead of that Friday. Without further ado, guys, let's get into the first episode of Everything and Nothing. And before we start, I'm going to start off with the song of the day. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that I see now. I work at a job where I'm able to listen to music just about all the time. Like throughout my shift, I can listen to music. So I tend to, work my way around with Spotify and listen to all types of music. I couldn't be able to say that I was big on, like, I would say like 10 years ago. Or not even 10, 5 years ago when I was in high school, I was not the biggest music person. I did not really like or listen to music that much unless it was like mainstream pop music. I used to call myself a basic bitch when it comes to music. So now that I had the ability to listen to music at work, before that when I had a job working at a movie theater, I'll be able to listen to music when I'm opening or when I'm closing. But now it's throughout my shift. When I'm at a specific position, of course. But I'm usually at that position all the time. Not going to say where it is or what it is because my job is really the only job in my state. So I kind of don't want to say that. Even saying that is kind of giving it away. But what I will say is that I can listen to music just about all the time. And with that being said, I listen to a lot of music at work. Today's song of the day was going to be Fuck a Silver Linings by Panic at the Disco, who has a new album coming out in June. I'm super excited for the album. I'm a big Panic at the Disco fan. But song of the day will be going to Childish Gambino's This Is America. I was going to be that, and then last night I was going through YouTube, as I usually do. I'm on YouTube just about 90% of my day. I was on YouTube looking for some videos, and on trending I saw Childish Gambino. I'm like, what? Childish Gambino made a new song today? Holy. So I went and I listened to it, and of course, the beat was awesome. And Childish Gambino is just so amazing with his music. Like, it always has this, like, I can't even describe it. It's Gambino music, man. If you guys listen to Childish Gambino, you know exactly what I mean when I say Gambino music. Like, sometimes it's, like, mellow music. Sometimes it's, like, going hard, like rap music or hip-hop. It changes and fluctuates. This one kind of fluctuates. It has that very... I can't describe it. You guys gotta listen to it. I'll put a link in the description. Make sure you guys go listen to This Is America by Childish Gambino. You'll love it. Make sure you watch the music video too. The music video was pretty cool as well. Just about all of his music videos are cool. Everything about Childish Gambino is good. Alright, so let's get into this podcast. So before I go, I have came back from my downtown LA visitation. Is that how you say? Visitation? My vacation from Los Angeles. I turned 21 about 2 weeks ago, and during that time I traveled to LA about 2 days later, and I had a fun time. I was down there for about 5 days, saw a lot of things, did a lot of things. Let's kind of start from the beginning. So I flew in from LA at 6 a.m. Eastern time because I live in the East Coast, so I go by Eastern time. So I flew there at 6 a.m. and I believe I arrived at 11 a.m. with 11 a.m. Western time in LA. Now, during the flight, I'll say that I tried to sleep, but I really couldn't because I was so excited. I did, however, watch one movie that I always wanted to see, but I never saw, and that was Inglourious Basterds. Now, here's the thing I'll say. If you guys have not seen this movie, you have to go see Inglourious Basterds. I mean, if you're young, I wouldn't watch it, but, you know, it's not your normal, it's just a Nazi killing Jews movie. Like, it's not one of those movies. It happens, but that's not what the movie is. It's the premise of it. Can't really explain the premise of it. It kind of focuses on 3 different stories, and they kind of coincide with each other. It's really cool. It's directed by Quentin Tarantino, which everyone knows he's one of the greatest movie directors of all time, which it says a lot. If it's directed by Tarantino, you should watch it. I mean, come on. The guy's directed Pulp Fiction and Casino. Like, come on now. Who wouldn't watch a Quentin Tarantino movie? I really hope I didn't botch the fact that he directed Casino. I think... I'm almost 100% sure he directed Casino, but I know for a fact he directed Pulp Fiction. Nonetheless, go watch Inglourious Basterds. I watched that on my play ride. I enjoyed the movie very much so. So much that when I came back, I showed it to my grandparents, and they enjoyed the movie. So yeah. Made it to LA. Now, beforehand, about 2 weeks prior, we're doing time jumps here. 2 weeks prior, I saw this little thing online, like the Marvel movie marathon. Now, there's a lot going on. There's some in my state. There's one in New York that's doing the same thing, but there's one happening in Los Angeles, and I'm like, this wasn't 2 months ago. This is a whole 2 or a month ago. Let me stop botching here. One shot. That's what we're doing. So I saw this and I was like, okay, what's going on here? So I check it out. It's at the El Capitan Theater in LA, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm traveling to LA anyway, so let's book it. So I'll look at what's going on here, see what differentiates this one from one happening in New York. This one's supposed to have special guests, accommodate us with food, costumes from the actual place. You know, the Infinity Gauntlet's gonna be there. It looks like it's gonna be cool, and you know, what these kind of marathons, the hardest of hardcore fans are gonna go. Now, I will say outright, I am a DC baby. I was born liking DC. I really wasn't exposed to Marvel all that much when I was younger, except I used to live with a few friends when I was younger, and they were Marvel fans. They and their names is Jordan Josh. Josh was a really big fan of Spider-Man. I think Jordan was too. I think they were both big fans of Spider-Man. And I wasn't really a big fan of Spider-Man. I really didn't like Spider-Man much growing up, or really anything Marvel, unless his name was the Hulk. I was a DC baby. I grew up liking Batman and Wonder Woman and Aquaman, Cyborg, and Teen Titans. You notice I didn't say Superman. I never liked Superman growing up. I always hated him. And I think part of the reason is because Batman hates him, but I never liked Superman growing up. So that's why I didn't say Superman in that ensemble. He is part of DC, the DC universe, though. That being said, I went into this like, okay, well, this is a good chance, because why would you go to a theater, watch a bunch of movies you saw already? So I've seen almost only one of the movies that were in there I've seen, and that was Black Panther. I really haven't seen any of the other movies. I'm not going to lie. Maybe 1 or 2 of them, but I can't remember. But all the other movies you see on this list, on my ticket, I didn't see them. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy the ticket. So I go to buy the ticket. There's only like, I forgot how many seats there were exactly, but there's only like 7 seats left. And I'm like, holy shit. So I can't really wait, because there was only like $200 on my account, and the ticket is like $102. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm going to be like skating by for the next few days until I get paid. So I go ahead and I buy the ticket. I get J7, which I'm like, oh boy, I really hope that it's not a bad seat, because, you know, it's to the left, it's not in the middle, and I don't know, I just hope I'm not sitting next to somebody who's snoring or whatnot. That's all I'm hoping, because you're in a 36-hour movie marathon. Your assumption is that everyone's going to be staying, sleeping, and snoring in the same theater. I will say that some people actually did leave and slept in their cars. If I had a car, I would have slept in. I don't know if I would have slept in if I had a car. I don't know if I would have came with a car, honestly. I probably would have just stayed in the theater just for the experience. But nonetheless, I touched down at 11 a.m. Tried to figure myself out, get through security. Didn't take as long as I thought it would. It only took like 30 minutes. Got through security, took an Uber, went straight to the theater. 6 hours on the flight, I went straight to a 36-hour movie marathon. I swear to God. Went straight there, long-ass line, so I had to wait about 30 minutes to get through. Mind you, I had my luggage with me, so they said I couldn't come in. So I go to a luggage storage, I put the luggage there. I had to walk there, because the luggage storage was only like a 10-minute walk. So I walk to the luggage storage, walk back. I get checked in to the movie theater, get my ticket, and I sit down. Now, mind you, this is all about like 30 minutes after the movie started. Well, 30 minutes after everything already started. So at this point, Iron Man has already started. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss too much of Iron Man, of course. So I watched Iron Man, and I enjoyed Iron Man. I enjoyed the first Iron Man. I'm going to go through like every movie I saw, what I thought about it, since a lot of them were my first time seeing it. I enjoyed Iron Man for what it was worth. I mean, that was the first... No, that's not the first Marvel movie. I think that was the first Marvel movie of the MCU. Like, of the Avengers lineup, that was the first Marvel movie. I know for a fact that was not the first Marvel movie. Wasn't the first Marvel movie Spider-Man? 2003? I don't remember exactly, but I like Iron Man. The next one was the Hulk. Oh my God. That movie was terrible. I totally regret watching that movie. That was one of the movies I should have dipped on, but I'm like, you know what? I like the Hulk. He's one of the only Marvel movies, only Marvel characters I liked when I was growing up. Let's watch the Hulk. So at this point, you know, it's 3 p.m. Yeah, I'm not tired or anything, so I watched the Hulk. And I forgot who plays who. I think Edward Norton played Hulk. And I think what I really didn't like about the movie was the girl he was chasing. What's her name? Betsy Ross or something? I don't know what the hell the girl's name was. Whoever played her annoyed the living shit out of me. Because every single second, if it wasn't, like in the very beginning of the movie, I forgot what was happening. But every second, it would focus on a news page article of her. And this was like reoccurring. And I was like, okay, obviously he's the main character, but you don't got to show me it every 10 seconds. Movie starts. Lots of action, but not all that intriguing. We didn't get action for another like hour, so you know that's awesome too. But when we got to this woman, she annoyed the shit out of me because every second she was like, Bruce. She said it like with a question mark at the end. Oh my God, I just wanted to like gouge my ears out. You know, I could have walked out of the movie, but I'm like, nah, it might get better towards the end. It didn't. And the action at the end, you know, by the time Hulk was fighting whoever the hell he was fighting, I didn't care because I was so done with the movie that I just mentally checked out of it. So everyone's like clapping when it's happening. I'm like, boo, and then I got booed because I booed the movie. Because I booed the movie and I got booed in the process. So then we get to Thor. And before we get to Thor, I will say that it was very cool because there was a lot of news channels from LA that were covering this. Like, oh, they probably thought that, oh, these losers are in this movie for 36 hours. Let's tape their reactions to whatnot. So they taped us before the movie and after the movie. I got on the news at least twice before the movie. I'll probably show you guys a clip right here. If not, I'm just gonna show you a picture of it. But I got on the news. I met this girl named Michelle. Shout out to her. She was really awesome. She dressed up as Gamora. I met her across the street at a bar, and we got to talking, and she ended up getting interviewed because she looked like Gamora, and she pulled me into the interview, and that's how I got on. That's pretty much how I got on the news. They didn't want to interview me. She just kind of pulled me in, so that was pretty cool. Shout out to her. She's pretty awesome. I still talk to her right now. Pretty cool chick. I just wanted to put that in there because I didn't want to forget about that. Anyway, we get to Thor. I enjoyed Thor. Captain America, was that the first event? Yeah, Captain America, the first Avenger. I liked Captain America. Now, I wasn't really a big fan of Captain America growing up, so I didn't really have too much high expectations, but I enjoyed the movie. We then get to the Avengers. At this point, it is like 1 or midnight or 1 a.m. And people are starting to get a little bit groggy. People are starting to get a little bit sleepy. But, you know, it's the first Avengers, so everyone manages to pull through and stay awake. We then get to Guardians of the Galaxy. It is now 3 a.m. I shit you not, you know, there's about a good, like, 400 people in this theater. About a good 30 or 40% of them were asleep. Dead asleep. I was looking around, seeing, I wonder how many people are sleeping right now. I could count, like, at least, like, a few hundred heads that were, you know, clocked out. I was about to be one of those people. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. That is probably, I would say, one of my all-time favorite Marvel movies. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay awake. I'm gonna watch it. Get 10 minutes of the movie. I'm asleep. I at least I try to fall asleep. Every time you try to fall asleep in the theater, one, it was cold in there, and I'm sure it was only cold because they wanted to keep you awake the whole time. And two, the seats weren't really comfortable. You know how usually now all the seats are up to date. They're all leather, and they have that little armrest, and they push out with the little leg rest, and you can just actually sit back. It wasn't designed that way. It wasn't a movie theater. It was a regular performance theater. So the way it was designed was it had those like old seats, a small row, and then you basically just watch the performance. So it wasn't something you could originally go to sleep in. Like the theater I used to work at, I could probably sleep there for at least like all the movies if I wanted to. This one, I couldn't even if I wanted to try. I did, however, get about a good 45 minutes of sleep out of it. And then I heard, yay, they started clapping. I'm like, God damn it. Every time someone sneezed, they started to clap. And I couldn't go to sleep because I kept on getting woken up. So Guardians of the Galaxy ended. Great movie. Loved Guardians of the Galaxy. I was more of a fan of the second one than the first one, but that's besides the fact. We didn't get to Avengers Age of Ultron. It is now 6 a.m. People are even more tired because now they've been awake for God knows how long. It's been almost 12 hours. Well, no, more than 12 hours. They've been awake. But God knows how long these people have been awake before the marathon even started. My dog is scratched at the door. What do you want, dog? What do you want? Anyway, so Avengers Age of Ultron started. I can't tell you a single thing that happened during this movie because I was in and out of sleep during this movie. Couldn't tell you a single thing that happened. We didn't get to Avengers Civil War. I actually woken up for this movie because it had Black Panther. It had who else it had? It had Bucky Barnes, who I really wasn't introduced to until the first Captain America, mind you. When this scene happened in the Black Panther, I was like, who the hell is that? Everyone's like, oh my God, it's Bucky. I'm like, I didn't want to say who's Bucky out loud, but I was like, who's Bucky? So we didn't get to Bucky Barnes. He's in the movie. Ant-Man's in the movie. Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, The Shield. Everyone's in the movie except for, the Guardians of the Galaxy and all the other characters that really matter. They're not in the movie. They had that cool fight scene. It's kind of a battle between Captain America and Iron Man, really. Good movie. That was probably one of my second favorites of Civil War. We didn't get to Doctor Strange. At this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm getting something to eat. Because here's the thing. We got meal breaks during the movies, right? At, I don't know, 8 p.m., we got a dinner on Wednesday. Then at 6, 7 a.m., we got a breakfast. Now my dog wants to leave. Get out of here. Get out of here. 6 a.m., we got a breakfast. At 12 p.m., we got a lunch. And then you guys get the point. We got 5 different meal breaks, basically. So, at this point, I was very tired of Chick-fil-A, which was what we were sponsored by. I was very tired of Chick-fil-A, so I left and I went to this place called the Blue Jam Cafe. I recommend you guys definitely go there, get their crunchy French toast. It is crunchy French toast, but they have this, it's decorated very nice. It has this nice vanilla dip that goes with it that tastes so good. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I wish I would have got something else, though, because a lot of things on the menu look really good. Next time I go there, I'm going to go to Blue Jam Cafe. Get something else. Nonetheless, went there, got something to eat, came back. Doctor Strange was over. Spider-Man came on. Once again, guys, not a big fan of Spider-Man, so I dipped out on Spider-Man. I don't remember what I went to do during Oh, yeah, I went to my hotel to check in, because when I went to the movie theater, I already knew that I was sleeping there because my hotel check-in wasn't until the next day. So during Spider-Man, I went to go check into the hotel. I had to pick up my luggage, then go to the hotel, then check in, and then come back. That was all. By the time I came back, Spider-Man Homecoming was over. Now, in between movies, you had special guests, people from Nerdist, which is what we were hosted by. Shout out to Nerdist. Make sure you guys go check out their YouTube channel. We had guests from Nerdist, guests from some of the movies. We had Sebastian Stan, who played Bucky. We had Chris Hemsworth, I think. If I remember, it was Chris Hemsworth. I'm not entirely sure. Chris Hemsworth was there. A few other people were there. Tom Holland from Spider-Man was there. I missed him because I left. I heard he went into the crowd and watched the movie with everybody, but I was very skeptical of that. When I came back, the movie was basically ended. I laughed at the end, so I'm like, ah, damn it. Seems like a funny movie. Maybe I should have stayed. Probably one of the biggest ovations out of the whole thing was during Spider-Man Homecoming. well, I think the biggest ovations were the last three, which is Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Avengers. So that was one of the biggest ovations was at the end of Spider-Man. I'm like, I guess I missed something good. So at the end, I went to go talk to Gamora, not Zoe Zadelna? I don't know how to say her last name. Not her, but Michelle. So I went to go talk to her. We're talking for a good few seconds. Then I hear, ah! And she's screaming in my ear. I'm like, what are you screaming for? And she's like, Tom Holland just walked right past you. And I'm like, really? He did? I turned around. He was gone. I didn't see him. So apparently he brushed shoulders with me. He walked right past me. I didn't notice it. I'm a little bit upset about that. But that happened. We then get a bit of a break because at this point they were so early with time that they were like, oh shit, we are supposed to start the Avengers at 6. It's like 1. And we only got 2 movies left. So they're like stalling. They're like, all right, guys, we're gonna take a 30-minute break. And I'm like, really? So I go across the street, get something to drink, come back. Alcoholic beverages, of course, because I turned 21. Gotta go all out, right? At this point, we're kind of zombies, but we're getting ready for Black Panther because that's one of the best Marvel movies that come out in recent memory. So we get ready for Black Panther. Before the movie came out, the guy who does the hoo-ha, I can't remember his name, not Roman Reigns, but one of the main characters of Black Panther, not Daniel Kaluuya or Michael B. Jordan, but the other guy. Not Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman came out afterwards. I'll show you a video of Chadwick Boseman coming out. It was pretty cool.
Please welcome to the stage T'Challa himself.
So T'Challa was there. That was cool to see him. We got into Black Panther. I was awake for the whole thing because, Black Panther was amazing. That was my third time watching the movie. Got a big ovation. Then came the Avengers Infinity Wars. Once the little thing for Avengers came on, everyone just came awake. It was like The Walking Dead. Everyone just rose from the dead as soon as Avengers Infinity Wars came up on the screen. And they were like, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 55-minute... I'm like, bitch, are you serious? Everyone was like, oh, come on. Yeah, they were like an hour-long break because they got to stall until 6 o'clock. So everyone's just wandering around. Now a bunch of news channels are there because they're like, all right, let's get these losers an interview before the actual movie comes on. Everyone's out there doing their thing. And we get back for the Avengers. Now I'm going to get into my review of the Avengers Infinity Wars. By Lord, I will say that my audience was a lot more hype and live. One of the reasons was because before the Avengers actually started, we got a bit of a little club thing going on. All I know is I came back, one of the hosts was there, a turntable was there, and they started playing music. Everyone's dancing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It turned into Club El Capitan over here. All right, I see you.
Yep, this is still the same theater showing Avengers.
This music went on for about 30 minutes. They played some old school jams and whatnot. Tried to get everyone awake. And that it worked. They did some giveaways. They gave away some posters, signed posters, a bunch of treats. I didn't win any of the giveaways, sadly. The luck wasn't on my side with the giveaways, but that's besides the point. One of the persons in my row won a giveaway. Ended up being on stage with Sebastian Stan. Lucky for him. So, then the Avengers starts. And, spoiler alert, I'm going to spoil the movie and what happens. So, if you don't want to know what happens, skip ahead at least 10 minutes. So, we get to the beginning of the movie. It starts off with Loki and Thanos. And I don't remember if Loki was trying to side with Thanos or... I don't know. Thanos had Thor. And I was like, oh, Lord, he's about to kill Thor in the very beginning of the movie. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to kill your brother if you don't give me the Tesseract Stone or whatever. Which is, Thanos' main goal is to get all the Infinity Stones. That way he has Infinity Gauntlets, snap his fingers, and eviscerate half of the universe. So he's like, I need the Tesseract Stone. And Thor's like, we destroyed the stone. It's not here. And he goes to choke Thor out. And Loki's like, no, I had the stone. And he gives him over to Thanos. And now Thanos is becoming more powerful because now he has a stone with him. And Loki blindsides Thanos, but Thanos saw it coming and stopped Loki from stabbing him in the neck. And now he's about to choke Loki out, but Hulk comes out of nowhere. This is one of the best scenes in the movie, guys. Hulk and Thanos start going at it. Hulk is beating up Thanos, and I don't know, this Voldemort-looking motherfucker's like, let him have his fun. I didn't know who he was talking about. I think he was talking about Thanos. And I saw that in a few seconds. Because as soon as Thanos got his grip, man, he laid hands on the Hulk. He whooped the Hulk's ass so badly that Bruce Banner, he turned into Bruce Banner. That's how badly he beat the Hulk, so badly he turned into Bruce Banner. And never came back as the Hulk for the whole movie. I thought that shit was hilarious. Like, Thanos had mad hands in this movie, especially on the Hulk. You know, people can't really touch the Hulk. Thanos whooped his ass in the very beginning of the movie. That was hilarious. And one of the dudes sent Hulk back to Earth, and he alerted Doctor Strange about it. And like, he's like, Thanos is coming. Doctor Strange's like, who? And that's when the main intro started, and the crowd's cheering because they're like, yeah, it's finally happening. Da, da, da. This is a 2.5 hour plus movie, so I'm not going to tell you everything that happened. Otherwise, I'll be here forever. So let's just get into all the deaths that happened. So one of the first major deaths that happened was Loki. Loki got choked out by Thanos. There were people crying in the theater because Loki died in like the first 10 minutes of the movie, which is really sad. And Thor's like, I'm going to avenge Loki's death, even though Loki tries to kill me every time he gets. But that's besides the point. We then get to more deaths. Gamora was the main focus in this movie. I had a feeling she was the main focus because she was going to die. And she did. One of the reasons why is because Thanos had to go to this place called Vilmir, or whatever it was called, to get one of the final stones. Well, one of the stones, not one of the final stones. He took Gamora there because Gamora went to kill him. And he's like, I want to take you with me, I guess. So he takes them there. One of the ghosts or persons who's guarding the place is like, I'll give you the stone, but at a price, a sacrifice. And he's like, sacrifice what? And he's like, since it's a soul stone, you must sacrifice a soul for a soul. And it must be someone you love. And I'm like, oh shit. And Gamora's like, you can't love anyone. Who can you possibly throw off? And he turns around, tears in his eyes, and I'm like, oh shit. And then he throws Gamora off and kills her. Such a sad death. Wasn't as sad as I thought it was going to be, but that was really sad in the end. We did get some more deaths. There's a lot more sequences that happen, but I'm going to skip ahead to the actual deaths that happen. We get to Thanos on Titan. I forgot why he was there, but it was basically him battling Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Thor. And he basically beat all their asses. He stabbed Iron Man at one point. Everyone just went, because they thought Iron Man was dead. Because, mind you, he stabbed him while he was in, like, his, Tony Stark form, not Iron Man form. So everyone's like, oh my god, he's gonna die. But he was able to heal up his wound, and he was fine. That's when he went back to Earth. I believe they were in Wakanda. Yeah, they were in Wakanda. That's where Vision was. Because Vision had the last stone. And Vision's like talking to Scarlet Witch. Okay, let me just say, Scarlet Witch, one of the main focuses, she was a main focus, but she was one of the main prospects of the movie. I forgot just how powerful the Scarlet Witch is. Like, this woman was uber powerful in this movie. She was throwing force fields, she was blocking shit, she was killing people. She held off Thanos for a good few seconds. Like, Lord. Her and Doctor Strange, man, they had some... What happened to them in the last few movies? Like, I remember Scarlet Witch being powerful in the last movie, but not this powerful. Same with Doctor Strange. Like, I remember I didn't watch Doctor Strange, but I heard it wasn't that good, so I just didn't watch it. But he showed off some magician shit that I wasn't expecting. He duplicated at one point. I'm like, holy shit, Doctor Strange he was serving him up. But Doctor Strange had one of the stones. He surrendered it to Thanos. Thanos was no match for any of the the Avengers were no match for the Thanos. He, like, swiped them all away on his quest to go to Vision. Scarlet was holding him off, but he was able to power out of it. And Thor came out of nowhere with the axe and boom, right to Thanos' chest. But Thanos rewound time, brought Vision back to life, took the stone away. I think that's when Thor came down with the hammer And everyone's cheering like, "Yay, he killed Thanos!" But he's like, "You should have aimed for the hand." And he snapped his fingers, and everyone's jaw dropped in unison like, "Ah!" Because everyone knew what it was heading for. He went back into whatever reality he was in with Gamora. And Gamora's like, "Are you happy with what you did?" And he's like, "Yeah." And that's when we saw all this shit go down. People just started dropping like motherfucking flies. First it was Bucky. Then it was T'Challa. Man, I can't remember exactly in what order. Then it was Groot. You just had everyone dropping like flies. You had Doctor Strange. Fucking, who else? Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch died. Vision died, but Vision was killed by Thanos. He didn't really evaporate. Scarlet Witch, Vision, most of the Shield except for Scarlet Witch for some goddamn reason. Not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow for some damn reason. Star-Lord, Mantis, Drax, everyone but Rocket was alive from Guardians of the Galaxy. That made me kind of sad, especially Drax. He's my favorite Guardian. And then the saddest one was, of course, Spider-Man. He's like, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good," and then he collapsed, and he's like, "I don't want to die, I don't want to die," and everyone's just like crying their eyes out in the theater as he died in Iron Man's arms. And then the final scene was Thanos smiling like he's happy with what he did. Like, he accomplished his mission, and the movie ended. And everyone was just like, so, they weren't upset, but they were just so starstruck that the movie ended with the villain winning. And honestly, I liked it. I'm a fan of the villain winning sometimes because we get this hero wins all the time. That's what happens in these movies. The hero always wins. So when a villain wins, it's shocking, but I enjoy it because I think it's a nice twist. So the villain wins, credits roll, people are not a single person, one person left, but I think he was in shambles. Like, this person got up as soon as the movie ended, walked to the back. I'm sure he probably cried his heart out as soon as he walked out of the theater. But everyone else but that man stayed in their seats for the credits. They're like, "This can't be it. This can't be it." Credits end. Another credit starts rolling. They're like, "What? That's not the end of the movie. No way!" And then they wait to that last end credits, and that's when they got the end credits scene. Nick Fury and some other girl evaporated. Nick Fury made a call to somebody at the end of the movie, and ended up being Carol Danvers, who otherwise is known as Captain Marvel. Who she's gonna come in and save the day in the next Avengers Infinity War, in next Avengers movie. I keep on stuttering. I'm sorry, guys. One take. All I'm doing. So she's gonna come in the next Avengers movie. I know she's getting a movie next year. I think Carol Danvers is being played by Brie Larson. I know she was in Kong Skull Island and The Room, so I'm looking forward to her acting. Very curious to see how she takes on the role of Carol Danvers. I don't know how she'll do in a comic book movie, but I imagine it can't really be that hard to, do stunts. But nonetheless, I thought The Avengers was fucking awesome. Recommend anyone go see it. None of you are meant to prepare for the movie, but go see The Avengers. It was awesome. Even if you haven't seen any of the other movies. Even though I recommend you at least see Captain America Civil War and Avengers Age of Ultron. Or just the first Avengers and Captain America Civil War and Black Panther. But yeah, just go ahead and go see The Avengers, because that was an amazing movie. And I know you guys are probably sick of me talking about The Avengers, because I've been talking about it for at least a good 30 minutes. So I'm going to get off that topic. But I saw some other cool things. I was in LA. I went to the Citadel outlet with some of my bunk mates. I stayed in a hostel. Well, let me say, I stayed at the Freehand Hotel in downtown LA. I had a great experience there. I really enjoyed that hotel. They had a hostel, and they had a lot of other hotel rooms, but I stayed in a hostel. I stayed in there with, I think 7 other people. Yeah, it was 7 other people. It was like 2 Australians, 2 Aussies, 1 English, 1 person from England, 2 people from Japan, and 1 person from New York. So it was a very multicultural room. At my last day, 2 people from Saudi Arabia came in. But that really didn't matter because I left that day. Nonetheless, they had everything accommodated that you needed in the room. They had the bathroom, they had your beds, they had the lockers, and then at the rooftop they had a pool. In the morning they had breakfast. They had 2 different bars there that you could go to. It was a very, very, very nice. It was like one of the best hotel experiences I ever had. So I would definitely recommend you guys go to the Freehand LA Hotel if you guys are in downtown LA and looking for somewhere to stay. Whether it's a hotel room or a hostel, I recommend you guys stay in a Freehand Hotel. I very much enjoyed my stay. So, that being said, I saw a lot of things. I went to the Citadel outlet in LA. I went to this place called the Dalai Lama, which specializes in, like, Belgian waffles. I got one Belgian waffle, which was, I believe it was Oreo, Nutella, sprinkles, and the other one was, like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, strawberries, whipped cream, and something else. And then I got a side of Cookie Monster ice cream. I don't know if they don't sell it in the East Coast, because I feel like I never see it. But that was the first time I had Cookie Monster ice cream in my life, and I fell in love with it. It was like vanilla bean ice cream, Oreos, cookie dough, chocolate chips mixed in there. It was basically just ice cream and cookies. It was awesome. It was amazing. I love that. So, like, I've never been a big fan of ice cream, but if I ever am in a mood, I'm going to look for Cookie Monster ice cream, because I have very much enjoyed that. I had that. I went to a place called Blue Jam Cafe, which I already mentioned. I went to this place called Dave's Hot Chicken, which has the hottest chicken in the state or the country or whatever the fuck, I don't know. I got their hottest chicken and almost cried in tears and shambles. I ate only 1/3 of the chicken and threw the rest away because it was too hot for me to eat. I went to the Grand Central Market, went to this place called Ramen Hood, which specializes in, like, vegan ramen. It was really good. Went to this other place called Sugarfish, which had sushi. It was good, but rather light. Like, I had to get something else after that. I got Chipotle afterwards. That's kind of how light the meal was. Wouldn't say I would have ever paid $50 for that light of a meal ever again, but nonetheless. On my last day, I went with the Englishman. His name was Matt. Shout out to him because he basically drove me places, and we went out to a lot of places. Made a cool friend in him. He's a really cool guy. We went to the Originals Farmer Market in Los Angeles, which was right next to the Grove Mall, which was awesome. We saw some really good food. We got some really good Cajun food. I tried fried frog legs for the first time. A lot of people say it tastes like chicken. To me, it tastes like fish, but hey, to each their own. We went to this hot sauce shop. It was so awesome. They had so many funny named hot sauces and just about everything you can imagine. They had it there in that hot sauce shop. They had the Carolina Reaper extract, which I got a little thing of it. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it'll come to play one day, I'm sure. Scorpion hot sauce, the fucking other, just everything you can imagine. I got a picture of one of the hot sauces I bought. It's called the Saddam Insane. I was going to bring it on, but when I got to the airport, they were like, "Sir, this is over the liquid limit, which was 3.5 ounces, so you have to throw it away or get it checked." And I was like, "God damn it." So I went downstairs, got it checked, and they were like, "Yeah." They told me the exact same thing the person upstairs told me. So then I had to throw it away, which is I'm kind of sad about. No, I didn't throw it away. I gave it to the lady who told me I couldn't take it. So I just gave it to her, and she had it. Hopefully she enjoys it. But yeah, that's all the stuff I did in LA. I don't want to talk about too much more because I'm pretty sure you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about it. But yeah, I very much enjoyed my stay in LA, and I loved it. I would definitely go back there in the future. I'll make time to probably go back there sometime next year. I enjoyed it that much. There's so much stuff I didn't do. I didn't go to Venice Beach. I didn't hike the Hollywood sign. So there's still stuff I have left to do there. So I'm definitely going to make an effort to go back there and do the rest of the stuff I didn't do. Probably sometime next year. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some more stuff. So while I was there from Wednesday the 25th to Tuesday, May 1st. The Greatest Royal Rumble. WWE's Greatest Royal Rumble happened at this time. And let me go through some of the matches that mattered. There were a lot of matches. There were a few matches on the show, like I think 10 or so. But I'm going to go through the matches that mattered. Because there were some matches on there that I didn't care about, which was basically both the tag team matches. They didn't fucking matter to me. Let me take a drink of my H2O because my throat is getting a bit parched right now. Greatest Royal Rumble. We got the first match was John Cena vs. Triple H. I was walking at this point to the Dalai Lama, so I didn't really catch much of this match. It was the most normal, basic match you could ever see between these two men. Nothing special. It was just really cool to see John Cena and Triple H in the ring again. That's all. Cedric Alexander versus Kalisto for Cruiserweight Championship. Really, really good match. I would definitely go back and watch it again. Definitely showcased Kalisto, Cedric Alexander, what they could do. The Cruiserweights definitely get restricted a lot on the main roster. So seeing them do some quote-unquote flippy-dippy shit was really cool to see. Cedric Alexander retained the title, as expected. We got to the next match was Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal for the United States Championship. Nothing at note was really intriguing about this match except one spot where Jinder Mahal and Jeff Hardy had a spot. Jeff Hardy went for the Whisper in the Wind. You guys know what the Whisper in the Wind looks like. I don't have to explain it to you. Went for the Whisper in the Wind. I think Jinder Mahal was out of place because Jeff Hardy completely missed this move. And what does Jinder do? He fell anyway. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people look at wrestling and say, "You're a wrestling fan? It's so fake. Look at this." Part of the reason why we're here. Not gonna miss a good look. Anyway, then we get to the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 5-Way match. That was a great match. I think the best spot in the match is when Seth Rollins, it was basically the end, when Finn Balor is climbing the ladder, trying to get the Intercontinental Championship. Seth Rollins did a springboard, hopped onto the ladder, and pulled the title down. It was one of the first times I've ever seen that finish. I always dreamt of seeing that finish happen, and it actually happened. So I was very happy when it did. We got to Undertaker versus Rusev. That was I can't call it good because it's not like some back and forth. But for an Undertaker match at his age, it was really good. And I thought it was good. Undertaker got a lot of offense. Rusev got more offense than John Cena did at WrestleMania 34. So that's to say a lot. Undertaker did a tombstone pile driver on the Ada Angle. It looked like he broke his damn neck. Put both of them in a casket. Undertaker won the match. We got the Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I'm not going to talk much about this match. Very annoyed with the finish. Very annoyed with this feud in general. I hope it ends soon. We then get to the 50-man Royal Rumble match. And man, well, I think it was the greatest Royal Rumble. Not the greatest Royal Rumble match. But it was a good match. I will say that much. From start to finish, I watched most of it. Because like I said, I was walking during it. The connection was shoddy. But let me go through some of these entries. First entry was Daniel Bryan. He lasted the longest out of anyone in Royal Rumble history at 1 hour and 16 minutes from the number 1 spot. So they definitely are banking on Daniel Bryan. If they're not trying to make him a top guy, they definitely are trying to make him a serious threat. At least. Can you really be a serious threat as a babyface? Is that qualification? I'm not sure. Dolph Ziggler came out number 2. Did anyone really care? He was eliminated by Kurt Angle. Sin Cara number 3. Curtis Axel number 4. Mark Henry number 5. He eliminated 5 people, which is... No, he didn't. He eliminated 3 people. Never mind. Mike Kanellis came in, eliminated in 2 seconds. What a disappointment this guy has been since he got to the main roster. I don't understand why they even keep him around. Just release him already. Have him do something else. He's better off somewhere else. Hiroki Sumi made his WWE debut. I'm sure he was only there for the Greatest Royal Rumble match. He was a sumo wrestler. He got eliminated in 45 seconds by Mark Henry. Guess he just wanted to show off Mark Henry's strength because that was really the only reason he was in this match. Victor from the Ascension number 8. Kofi Kingston number 9. I don't remember what the spot he did. What was the spot he did? You know, Kofi Kingston always has his spots in the Rumble match. I don't remember what it was. Tony Nese number 10. Dash Wilder number 11. Hornswoggle, surprise entry, number 12. Got eliminated by Tony Nese. He didn't go over the top rope though, so Hornswoggle technically still in the Rumble match as we speak. Primo Cologne number 13. Xavier Woods number 15. Bodus Dallas number 15. Kurt Angle, Scott Dawson, Goldust, Connor, Elias. He did a really good performance in this match. Eliminated 5 different people. Made it all the way to like at least one of the last entries. Rhino, Drew Gulak, Tucker Knight, Bobby Roode, Fandango, Chad Gable, who had a nice run even though he didn't eliminate anybody. Rey Mysterio, surprise entry, even though it was already confirmed that Rey Mysterio was going to be in the match. Got eliminated by Baron Corbin. Mojo Rawley, Tyler Breeze, Big E, Carl Anderson, Apollo Crews, Roderick Strong made a surprise entry from NXT, the Undisputed Era. Chopped the living shit out of Daniel Bryan so badly that Daniel Bryan's chest was beat red. Looked like he went 12. Someone went 12 years a slave on his chest. Randy Orton, Heath Slater, a guy named Babatunde. Yeah, he entered in and got eliminated by Braun Strowman in like 6 minutes. Baron Corbin, Titus O'Neil, Dan Matha from NXT. I have not seen this guy in 2 years. Where else has he been? Came in, got thrown out like a jabron by Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman came in number 41. Ty Dillinger, Kurt Hawkins, Bobby Lashley came in. He got eliminated by Braun Strowman. Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon got eliminated by Braun Strowman. 13 people got eliminated by Braun Strowman. He broke the record for most eliminations. Let's put it that way. Shelton Benjamin, Big Cass, and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho came in. Only 3 minutes, got eliminated by Braun Strowman. Final 3 came down to Braun Strowman, Big Cass, and Daniel Bryan. At this point in time, Big Cass and Daniel Bryan were in a ring together. I'm like, Daniel Bryan's not winning this. I would have loved to see Daniel Bryan win for the number 1 spot. That would have been really awesome. But as soon as Big Cass got in the ring, I was like, yeah, he's not winning. The Big Cass is eliminating him. Big Cass got a lot of boos. Braun Strowman eliminated Big Cass. Braun Strowman won the match. He is now your greatest Royal Rumble champion, which I'm all but going to assume that title will be discarded next week. And I believe it was. Is this going to be canon in the Royal Rumble lineup? I think it should. I think it will. Hopefully Braun Strowman does go down as an official Royal Rumble winner. Nonetheless, the Greatest Royal Rumble was a decent show. I didn't watch some of it because I was on vacation, but that's besides the point. Raw and SmackDown the next day, the next 2 days. Didn't watch either one. The go home episodes, didn't watch either one. I still do not watch Raw and SmackDown. It is very, very, I say this all the time, it is very hard to get into Raw and SmackDown. When for almost, we're going on 3 years now, I have not watched Raw and SmackDown consistently. I just got really tired of the same old stuff on Raw and SmackDown in 2015 and kind of just stopped watching it. I haven't really got back into it full-time since. I've tried multiple times, but it just has not worked. You know, with the draft and the shakeup, the rosters look good, especially SmackDown. But it's really hard. I'm trying my best. Well, I can't say I'm trying my best yet. I'll try on Raw and SmackDown after Backlash to see what happens. I'll try. Alright? I'll try and see what happens there. One noteworthy story was that Batista got an interview with, I don't remember who he was going to be interviewed by. But Batista was basically all but saying that he was being snubbed by WWE. As you know, Batista, very big in Hollywood right now. Not Rock level big, but he's number 1 in the box office right now with the Avengers. He's playing Drax. So you'd imagine that, oh, this guy is so big in Hollywood, why don't we put him on Raw, put him on SmackDown? They can get that mainstream publicity. But no. Batista, a few months ago, probably beginning of the year, was in talks with WWE, talking to Triple H. Like, yeah, I want to come back. They were in talks about having him be the partner with Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it if I can get a match with Triple H the next year WrestleMania. We'll milk it. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll build up to it. All building up to me versus Triple H WrestleMania. And they're like, great. I love that idea. Let's do it. And Batista's like, yeah, I'm game. Let's do it. Few good weeks go by. Batista doesn't hear anything. He hits up Triple H. Doesn't get a response at all. And it's very weird because it's like, you know, Batista, Triple H, I'd imagine that they're on somewhat good terms with each other. But no, I guess not, because Triple H did not return his calls or messages at all. Can't be that damn busy. I bet you if The Rock called Triple H on the phone, he would pick that up in like 2.1 seconds. Probably 1.2 seconds. Most likely 0.2 seconds. But maybe it's that they're jealous of Batista's success in Hollywood right now. I can imagine it's probably that they're jealous that he's doing better in Hollywood than he did in WWE. I mean, that's really debatable, I guess. No, that's not debatable. Hollywood is bigger than WWE. So yeah, he's doing more success there. So I can imagine they're probably jealous and they're like, you know what? You want to be successful in Hollywood? Be successful in Hollywood. You don't need us. We don't need you. That's probably how it is. We don't need you. You don't need us. We're not going to talk to each other anymore. So WWE's just being petty right now. Batista's like, okay, whatever. You're missing the ball on my They're missing the ball because knowing them, they'll wait until after the Avengers. They'll wait until November and bring Batista in. When you could bring Batista in now while the Avengers are still hot, and say, oh, Batista who plays Drax in the Avengers, and then you get people who probably never watched wrestling a day in their life to tune into WWE just to watch Batista. They're missing the boat on that. WWE's stupid as always. What else to do? Backlash is also this Sunday. I did my predictions on it. Make sure you guys check out that video. Link in the description. I talked about why I find Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe so confusing, and I still do. It's like Samoa Joe is being built up as this top heel on SmackDown. He's supposed to be top heel on SmackDown after Backlash. Roman Reigns, however, has lost to Brock Lesnar on 2 separate occasions, both in the same month, mind you, for the Universal Championship. After years of being built up as the guy who's going to beat Brock Lesnar, he loses to Brock Lesnar twice. And you have Samoa Joe coming on Raw calling Roman a fucking loser. So you'd imagine that, okay, this is building up to Roman Reigns beating Samoa Joe. But then you think about it and it's like, well, if they're building up Samoa Joe, why would they have him beat Roman Reigns? I mean, why would they have Roman Reigns beat Samoa Joe? So they kind of booked themselves into a corner there. Because it's like, either guy loses, they do lose something. Roman Reigns loses, he's a real big loser. Because you lost 3 times in the span of 1 month. 3 big matches, 3 pay-per-view matches. 2 of them for the Universal Championship. Samoa Joe loses, you have him talking all this trash, proving everybody wrong, and then only to get to the big dog and, get barked and woof woof and lose. So Samoa Joe has to go to SmackDown as a loser too. So the question is, who wins? And you could say, oh, let's do a double count out or DQ, but that's corny. Didn't we just get that on SmackDown? So what do? My opinion is that you have, I said this in my Roman Reigns video, but my opinion is that you have Samoa Joe beat Roman Reigns clean. You have Roman Reigns tuck his head to his knees, not full on hysterically cry, but he voices his head, tear in his eye, walks to the back, and we don't see Roman Reigns for the rest of the summer. Up until SummerSlam, where you can do Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. Have Brock Lesnar about to beat Braun Strowman, Braun Strowman about to beat Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns comes in, spears Brock Lesnar to hell while the referee's knocked down. Braun Strowman takes advantage, hits a power slam, pins Brock Lesnar, becomes Universal Champion. Roman Reigns beats up Braun Strowman, lays him out, and it kind of sets up Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, whatever, at the next pay-per-view or whatever. And you can establish Roman Reigns as a heel then, since we assume Braun Strowman's still going to be the top babyface, and he's here to stay, so why wouldn't you have him as the top babyface? That's my route. I would go for it. What would you guys do? What's WWE going to do is the better question. Knowing them, they're not going to do what I said. In other news, Chris Jericho made his New Japan return. Tetsuya Naito was in a match at Wrestling Donutaku. I hope I said that right. Donutaku? One of the two. I don't remember exactly what happened. But Chris Jericho came in, interfered, had a mask on, took it off. It was him! After weeks and months of saying that I'm done with New Japan, we can't come to a deal. Chris Jericho keeping kayfabe alive, of course. I'm not surprised. Second time he attacked Tetsuya Naito. First time being at the day after Wrestle Kingdom 11. Now he's attacking him here at Dontaku. So now, it sets up either a match between the two at the G1 Special show in California in July, or it can set up a match between them at New Japan Dominion in June. What route do they go? I think they're going to do the show at Dominion because that's where they're doing all the big shows. It's basically the SummerSlam of New Japan. So I think they'll probably do Dominion. Now, they can always do a rematch at G1 Special. Jericho agrees to it. But I think they're definitely doing it at Dominion. And I think Tetsuya Naito is definitely defeating him. Because why would you have Jericho go over? He's only there. Can we really call Jericho a part-timer in Japan? He's wrestled twice in the past 4, 5, 6 months. Is it safe to call Jericho a part-timer if he's not under a contract? I don't know. Jericho's awesome. He's able to wrestle for Japan and appear in WWE at the same exact time in 1 year. So Jericho is winning. Everyone else is not. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let me take a little sip of my water as I get to the closing moments of this podcast. It's been going on for about a good hour now. That's some good H2O. So, final thing I want to talk about here. Fear the Walking Dead. I have not watched Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 at all. I've been wanting to, but I have not gotten a chance to. And honestly, I have not watched all of Season 3 yet, so I haven't had a reason. Why would I jump into Season 3? Why would I jump into Season 4 if I haven't seen any of Season 3? So that's kind of the reason why I haven't watched Season 4. But, spoiler alert coming up. I tried to avoid spoilers, but, you know, I'm on Facebook, so I kind of can't. Nick, from the original cast of Fear the Walking Dead, has gotten the axe. I don't know how. I just know that he died. Which makes me scratch my head. Because it's not like Fear the Walking Dead has this very big group like The Walking Dead. You know, Walking Dead has this amazingly, tremendously large group of people. You have Rick and Carol and Daryl and Cyril and Meryl and Laryl and Daryl and Rosita and Tara and Kara and Larry. You have all these people. Some of those names are lies. But you have all these people in The Walking Dead. You get the Fear the Walking Dead, and it's kind of really a small group. And I like that about Fear the Walking Dead. You have this main cast that you focus on. But the thing is, over the past 4 seasons, that main cast has kind of, but surely, just disintegrated. Travis, who was supposed to be the Rick of the group, is dead. Which I think the Rick of Fear the Walking Dead is basically all but Madison at this point. She's basically the main cast leader of the group. So Madison is alive. And her daughter, I don't remember her daughter's name, but she's alive. Nick is dead. Travis is dead. Travis's biological son is dead. The family they came across in like the first episode, they're all dead, I believe. So it's like there's only 2 people left of the main cast alive. And no, I don't count Morgan as part of the main cast because he's a crossover character from The Walking Dead. I still really don't understand why you had to put Morgan over there. I guess they wanted that ratings boost, but whatever. So now you have just Madison, her daughter, Morgan, and whoever the hell else they have in probably that little small group. I'm sure it's more than just those 4, of course. But you have just those 4 as the main focus, and I'm like, it kind of confuses me because it's like, yes, you have to kill off main characters at some point, but with them having such a small group of main characters, I would expect that at least more than half of them, if not half of them, to be alive at this point, and I think more than half of them are dead. Yeah, more than half of them are dead, because there's only 2 of them left. It started off at like 8, including that black guy they came across at the end of the season 1 finale. I don't know if he's still alive or not. I think he might be still alive. The guy looks like Idris Elba. He's still alive. So, is it smart for them to kill off all these people like that? I don't know. I don't watch the show, but I just wanted to mention that. Walking Dead news. Lauren Cohan, who plays Maggie on The Walking Dead, has officially re-signed. Thank God. If she did not resign, I probably would have quit the show. So we're definitely getting that Maggie versus Rick storyline in Season 9. What route do you go with that? Is a good question. Because Maggie is warranted for wanting to kill Negan. However, I look on forums and Facebook groups and everyone and their mama is on Team Rick for some reason. There are some people on Team Maggie, but everyone, especially the Superfans, are on Team Rick. They're like, oh, Maggie's out of line, Maggie's the villain, Maggie's this, Maggie... Like, Rick is the villain here. Rick led everyone on to think, we're going to kill this bad guy who killed 2 of our own. 3 of our own. And what does he do? He decides to keep him alive. And in this time jump, they're going to be friends or whatever. So, how much of a protagonist is Rick really at this point in time? Maggie watched her husband die and was told by Rick that we're going to kill your husband's killer. Not only did Rick go back on his word, but he basically relegated Maggie to being under him when Maggie is the leader of the Hilltop. Rick has basically taken over the Hilltop, and in the process, completely disregarded anything he said in the previous 2 seasons. Is that really a main protagonist to you guys? I don't know about you, but that sounds like the main antagonist to me. So as I see it, Rick is the main antagonist, Maggie is the main protagonist, and Maggie should be killing Rick. Will it happen? Probably not. Rick will always be their main guy. I don't see Rick ever dying. The question is, when will The Walking Dead end? That's really the point here, because it seems like Phase 1, as they're going to call it, The Walking Dead has ended, as they're starting a new chapter in the show. It's Phase 1 and they're entering Phase 2. When the hell is this show going to end? I never thought I would ask that question of when will the show end, but when will the show end? I'm not like saying I want it to end, but when is it going to end? Like, you kind of had a conclusive story there with Rick coming to terms with Negan and, you know, coming in. Like, what other villains can you go through aside from the Whisperers right now? And I highly doubt they're going to start the Whisperer storyline in the very beginning of the season. They're probably going to have some buffer villain for the whole season. And then they're going to get into the Whisper War at probably the end of Season 9. That's probably what's going to happen. Mark my words, the Whispers probably will not come in until Season 9 finale. It leads you into Season 10. I'm probably 100% correct on that one. And you guys come back to this episode if I'm wrong. Or definitely come back if I'm right. So, what is the buffer villain going to be? Who knows? They've already done just about every villain you can think of. So, what is going to differentiate the next villain from a Negan, or a Gareth, or a Grady Memorial, or the Governor? What's going to differentiate them? It's like, the Whisperers definitely differentiate from all of them, because they have their own unique thing going on. I can't really speak much on that, because I don't want to spoil it for any of you non-Walking Dead comic book readers, but the Whisperers are unique. I will say that much. However, with them having all the villains that they've went through, there's really not much they can do that's unique with any other villain but the Whisperers. So the buffer villain, going to be interesting to see. And yeah, that's kind of all I want to talk about in this episode. There are 2 more things I want to touch up on that's video game related. First thing, Detroit Become Human comes out this month. I'm very excited. I'm a big fan of anything that Quantic Dreams, I believe it's Quantic Dreams. Yeah, Quantic Dreams produces. They're the producers of, if I'm correct, Heavy Rain, Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy, and Until Dawn. Very, very big fans of them. So they're coming out with Detroit Become Human, which is basically all but a movie video game. You know, your decisions matter. All your decisions will affect it. It's not like Telltale Games where there's only one ending or a few different endings. There's multiple endings, and every ending is affected by the decisions you make. It's a very interesting game, and I can't wait for it, especially because I'm a fan of Until Dawn and Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy, and Heavy Rain is included. We also got a trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. That's coming out in November of this year, but, you know, Rockstar, they say one thing, and next thing you know, the game's not coming out until fucking April 2019. But we'll see how that game comes along, and how that game release date comes along as the months come on. Excited for that. I have to play Red Dead Redemption 1 because I've never played that game. I've always heard great things, like, oh, that's such an amazing game, you have to play it, it's like Grand Theft Auto, but Western, like old Western, not California Western, but nonetheless, really excited for that. I'm gonna have to look into that game. And Saints Row 2, one of my all-time favorite video games, is now on the Xbox One. Backwards compatibility. Sadly, I don't think it's a remaster, which it should be a remaster. You know, you could definitely edit the camera angles, because the camera angles in that game were always really shitty in my opinion. Add probably a few more missions, update some of the audio, some of the songs. There's so much more they could have done, what they could do to this game, but I feel like they kind of just got lazy and decided not to do a remaster. They made Saints Row 3 and 4, which were trash in my opinion, but didn't want to remaster Saints Row 2, which was the best one of all time. But anyway, I am still excited that Saints Row 2 is now on the Xbox One. I'm going to probably play it on this channel very soon. And that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Everything and Nothing podcast. I am Tyler Williams. And yeah, have a nice day, guys. And I will talk to you all later. Peace out.